Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show, Comics News Today. And of course, it's July 18th, 2019. I am Chester C. Busby III. We are very happy to have you guys in here and joining us as usual. We always want to mention the various links and stuff that we have there. We'd love for you guys to go and check those out. However, the first thing we're going to do today and maybe I'll give it a minute before I do it to let more people come in. I do see there's up to about 10 people are coming in, I guess. But definitely hit that share button and like out, please. That will help us get more people in here. But we do have a little bit of a serious thing to deal with from the beginning. But I will ask everyone how they're doing. How you doing today, Dinale?
I'm doing fantastic. It's raining like always.
Mm,
Well, not always, but typical Florida weather and everything. Um, but I'm able to stay online
that's good.
and
Yeah.
keep moving. Yeah. Um,
Yeah, we do have a
and
typhoon in the area, but it's very gray, and I'll probably have a little rain, but it doesn't look like it's going to affect us. I hope. Knock wood, right?
right,
But anyway, thanks for
right.
coming, George. How you doing, dude?
So. Now that I hear that Denali's having all this weather problems, my area is going to receive it anywhere between 3 and 5 days from then, and
Sure.
I will be having those problems. So I'm really looking forward to it. Woohoo!
Hey,
So
sharing is caring.
sharing is caring. So George, what is the color of the day?
Oh, the color of the day today is cooking. I will be cooking fries and hamburgers while we do the show.
That is not a color.
It certainly is if you're hungry.
All right,
Hmm.
fine.
He's got a
Logic,
point.
logic.
Color of the
And
tongue.
and on acid, I think. Yeah.
So how are you doing, Sir Hoylington?
I'm doing spectacular. Speaking of cooking, I'm gonna be cooking a pizza.
Oh, goodness
Now
gracious.
color me envious.
Oh, color me shocked.
Oh, goodness gracious. My
This is
Do
wife.
like
we
a
have any birds
colorful.
of prey? Do we have any birds of prey news today, Chester?
Not that I saw, no. If you
All
could
right.
dig up something, we'd certainly
I
talk about
have.
it.
I have because the chat is talking about birds of prey and they're not impressed.
All right, we'll go dig it up, and we'll see. We do
I'm
have a
I'm
few
digging.
trailers we're going to talk about, but the first thing I want to do
Wait,
while
wait,
he's
wait a minute,
doing
wait a
that.
minute. Did you say birds of prey? Are you talking about nuns?
Gee, George, you need to go get a book on humor. Hello, Edwin. How you doing? Hi, John. Oscar for Tosspot's in here. We got Nick as well. Welcome everybody. Definitely hit that share button. But I'm going to jump into our first story here for today. Let me come over here and share. Of course, oh, don't do that. Share with our panel here, and yeah, the first story of the day is a really sad one, and I wanted to cover this because I've been hearing several channels covering it, including Jeremy over the Quartering, who's probably the closest to us, but a lot of places, including BBC and other places, are covering it, and of course, this is incredibly sad news, but it's also I'm seeing a lot of inaccurate news come out. And I thought it would be, because I live here and I watch the news, this will be on the news for weeks and weeks. We don't get a lot of news here. And when something like this happens, it doesn't go away until something bigger knocks it off. First of all, our thoughts certainly go out to all the families involved. This is an absolute ridiculous tragedy that we do have 33 people dead in an arson attack here in Kyoto against KyoAni or Kyoto Animation, but everyone calls it KyoAni here. And this was obviously premeditated. This building you're seeing here, this destroyed building you're seeing here, this is actually their headquarters. Which of course is a problem when it comes down to all the resources and stuff they might have lost. They do have several buildings though. They do have maybe a more public building where you can go and it's kind of like a museum because Kyoto Animation is one of the biggest in Japan. They do a lot of things. To be fair, most of what they do is for girls. This is kind of a girl animation place. They do a few other things too. They've had some famous other things. And of course, one of the biggest things most Westerners would know, the average Westerner, is a lot of the Studio Ghibli stuff. These are the guys who finish it. So if you've seen it, Sento Chihiro. What do you call Sento Chihiro in the West?
Sento.
I don't know, what does that mean?
That's the one where the girl gets lost in the yokai world, and the dragon
gas
boy
Oh,
mountain.
tries
Spirited Away.
spirited away. Okay, Sento
Yeah,
Chiyo.
Spirited
Okay.
Away.
That's an incredible one.
That is a good one. But a lot of those things, this animation company is responsible for the finishing of them. So most
Oh,
Westerners would have that experience. They do a lot of, like I said, they do a lot of girl stuff, a lot of slice of life
mm,
type of stuff, and but they're enormous and they do a ton of work all the time. And of course, the real thing that's striking us over here is the fact that this is one of the big ones. If you get a job here, this is like the dream come true for a young animator, right? To be able to work in with this company. So those 33 people are working at the headquarters, and this is a working headquarters, right? This is not a showpiece. This is a place where they're doing hardcore work every day. So these 33 dead, and there's another half dozen that are in the hospital that aren't doing well. But these were young creators, and they were very good at what they do, and we've lost them. And it's just extremely sad, and it seems to be um, it seems to be for no good reason. The person who did this, a lot of people kind of arguing about what his age is. He's 41 years old, is his age. And the only thing we really know is he was at a local gas station, which is right nearby here, so within 100, 200 meters. He got two jerry cans, which is one of those hold about 20 liters, I guess, or so of gasoline. And he trolleyed it over here, and he walked into the front and started pouring around. Everyone was so busy working they didn't even notice him. Right? He took one of those barbecue lighters and he lit it up. And of course, he's an idiot. You put 40 liters of gasoline on the floor and you light that, it's going to go up. It's going to go up like a little bomb. And of course, he burned himself. Well, he went somewhere and then came back or whatever. But when the police came, they found him on the ground and they were talking to him. There was a nearby lady. She heard it and he was saying, Paco Paco Dareta, Paco Paco Dareta, which basically means they stole it or they copied it. Now, this is an eyewitness account, so I couldn't hear the intonation myself because it could change the intention, meaning they copied it or stole it from me, or it was stolen and copied. Of course, I don't know the intonation on it, but nevertheless, that's what he was saying. That's the only information we have. He's in pretty bad shape himself in the hospital because he accidentally lit himself on fire. So we don't know right now exactly what the detail is. But the situation is really, really bad, though. This is a horrible tragedy, and especially in a country that hardly sees any kind of violence. When we do, though, unfortunately, we see this kind of violence. I mean, the last time I remember was about, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago, and some crazy guy who was working in one of those homes that has nursing. It's like a nursing home, but it deals with people with mental issues. You know, they need to be cared for, like Down syndrome and stuff like that. I mean, serious level,
Memory
right?
Lane. Yeah, Memory Lane.
Yeah,
No, Holmes.
that's right. And he killed about
Mhm.
16, 17 people, I think, because he thought the world would be better off without them. So we don't get this kind of stuff, but when we do, it's usually kind of a lot of people get killed, unfortunately. Maybe it's a part of repression of the culture. I don't know. But I don't want to get into that. But I just want to cover this first off. And, it's just ridiculous tragedy. It's not just that a bunch of young people are dead; it's the talent that is lost as well. Yeah. Well, I just I mean, if anyone has any questions, I'll try to answer them best I can. You guys got anything to say on this?
Um, Part of it was they said, looking at the news and all that stuff, was that the gasoline hit the supplies, paper supplies, because they're still using paper, and that's what caused it to blaze even faster than normal. All the supplies that they were using,
Well,
and
yeah, that's true. But
yeah,
another issue is even though the building looks very plain and simple on the outside, this is a new building, by the way. They built this as they were kind of working headquarters. So the guy
hmm
obviously knew exactly where they were. 'Cause like I said, if you were a fan, this isn't the building you'd go to. There's another building. It's more museum-like because they're a big company. They do a lot of stuff, right? Um,
right.
but this was the working place, their headquarters, and this guy knew it. right? Even though this building looks very plain on the outside, on the inside, it was done in beautiful wood. They spent quite a bit of money to build this building, and it was done to create a nice, comfortable ambiance for the workers intentionally. So it's not only paper that might have gone up, but it's the building itself was this beautiful wood interior where I'm sure had varnishes and stains and all kind of nice stuff, which burned like
Hmm.
crazy.
Yeah.
Ray Thulu says, "Does Japan have the death penalty?" Yes, it does. They rarely use it. They only use it in extreme cases, which this is an extreme case. So, this dude, I'm sure, in a decade or two, will end up getting executed. They're not fast about it. They're very slow. They do have a system, though, where you never know when you're going to get executed. They just come, pull you out of the cell, put you in a place, and put a bullet in your head or hang you. I don't. It depends on the. I'm not exactly sure which one. I think they hang. But they rarely do it though. Only in extreme cases do they give the death penalty. I'm assuming this guy will get it. The last person I knew that got the death penalty that has been taken and done was Asahara, of course, from the sarin gas attacks in the Tokyo subways. But Yeah, no, this is pretty serious business, and I imagine he will get the death penalty for it. But to be fair, I'm not, oddly enough, because you guys know I do have some conservative leanings, although I consider myself a libertarian. Um, I'm not a big fan of the death penalty. I've never understood the idea of the punishment for murder to be murder. It seems to confound my logic. If you are going to have the death penalty, I think the way Japan handles it and does it is the best way you can do it, I think. But I don't know. That's not the conversation for today. But there's the answer. This guy has it coming out. Well, I understand that thinking. I do. I never seen Spirited Away. These guys did Violet Evergarden. Evergarden, I think it's called, not Evergreen. I might be wrong.
Hmm.
I think it's Violet Evergarden. But That one is actually one of my son's favorites. Like I said earlier, they mainly do female, girl animation. And most of the stuff is for girls, but they do have some universal stuff. And I think so my son loves it, so it must be, for everybody type of one. He's not into the kind of soft girly stuff. You know. Anyway, any comments, George or Booster?
It's just a waste. What else can you say, really?
Mm,
What a waste.
yeah, it's nice to see you with
Yeah.
us, by the way, Samali. We really appreciate all your news articles you put out. I try to use them when I find them. That's something different than Denali's dropping. And thank you very much. Nice to see you on here, dude. It's so rare. How about you, George?
Yeah, I agree with Booster. There's nothing really to contemplate here except pray for the souls of the people who passed away,
Yeah,
and maybe the soul of the murderer.
maybe. Because I mean, obviously, this is just hate and stupidity. I mean, in the end, if we find out that KyoAni stole his work or plagiarized him or something like that, it's still no excuse to murder 33 animators. I mean, because I'm sure there was secretaries and stuff as well. They probably weren't all creatives, but this is a working house, so the people in there were working. And Denali did mention paper thing. Of course, Japan, uses digital. It's one of the most technologically advanced countries on the planet. But Traditional is There's tradition to everything, and Japanese are very, very stickler to the tradition of things. And animation is paper based, and they still do that. I know from my daughter actually that a lot of animation actually is almost double done. Which is even more impressive how quickly they put out animation. A lot of their stuff is actually done in a paper form and then transferred to digital, right? To be used and worked up and add all the effects and things they do. And some companies refuse to even do that. It's all traditional. So it depends. This company, of course, does use digital animation, which is probably why my daughter's probably not a big fan of this company, particularly because she can't stand digital stuff. She says, but It doesn't matter. But having lots of paper in an animation studio makes perfect sense over here anyway. John says, I'm in, this is John Chedester, says, I'm in favor of the death penalty existing, but not for murderers per se. I support of people who want to watch the world burn. Yeah, no, I understand the argument. It's not an emotional thing for me. It's a logical thing. But I'm not gonna defend my point particularly strong because there are plenty of times I've wanted someone dead. So there it is.
Well,
Well,
the
I
death
kind of
penalty. Hold on, hold on a second. The death penalty technically was put forth because there's certain people out there who just don't fear God. So they had to bring it down into the real world.
Yeah,
So
no,
if
I
you don't fear
understand that,
God
George.
and you want to commit this kind of crime,
Mhm.
well then fear the death penalty.
Well, yeah,
I,
criminals never do.
I
Go
think
ahead, Todd.
it's time for sort of a change on this sort of front. Like anytime there are multiple casualties caused by somebody's negligence, or no, their content, their intent, when it's caused by their intent,
Mhm.
and they've killed more than say 3 people, right? Then I think it should be automatic as fast as can be.
Yeah, no,
You know
I
what I mean?
understand a lot of
But when
people
it's
support
like
it. I do. Yeah.
yeah, when it's like crimes of, or murder of passion or jealousy or things like that, that's kind of sticky stuff, and I don't think the
Mhm.
person, you know, acted right or was out to kill somebody. Per se is just like something got the better of them. But
Mhm.
this kind of thing, definitely, I support it. It should be swift, fast, no questions asked, done with.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like I said, I'm not going to argue my point very strongly. For me, it's simply a logical conundrum. That's all. And I understand both sides of the argument. I probably lean more toward the acceptance of the death penalty than against it. Really, like I said, it's just a logical conundrum, but it's not really the point. It'll take Japan forever to make a decision on that. They are very slow to make those kind of decisions. Brian the Observer says theft of IP is no excuse for murder, mass murder, mind you. No, dude, absolutely. Right. And the thing it kind of came up with the conversation my wife and I this morning or last night actually because we it was been the news has been constant with this geez almost 24 hours now the conversation we had about it is the type of mentality that does this because when it comes right down to it it's arrogance, right? Whether this person was angry with them because he didn't like the animation they were doing, or was angry because they stole his IP or whatever, it's an arrogance thing to take it to this level. And the problem is, I'm not going to make this political, but we're seeing a lot an escalation with activities in the West with these progressive type of SJWs, particularly Antifa and stuff like that. And that is the same mentality. Their arrogance is ridiculous. And of course, we see there's a lot of hidden projection of their own guilt as well. But it's a point that needs to be paid attention to because these people are capable of incredible violence, as you can see here. And you got to look at it in another way too, which this might sound crass, but this was completely and utterly successful from his point of view. He did exactly what he set out to do. He murdered them. He destroyed their. I mean, this could cripple this company. Now I know with the Americans in particular, they put up some kind of GoFundMe of some kind, and it's over $1 million. So there's a lot of love pouring into them, and in the end, it will probably work out. But this is a devastating blow to this company. So
I
this
think you need a
dude
lot more than
was,
$1 million, huh?
yeah. Well, I imagine. Just think of the
It's
resource
gonna
that was stored in that building, dude.
shit, yeah, that's gonna cost a lot, probably hundreds of millions.
Yeah, but I mean,
And
think.
not and that's how, and
For
not
this, yeah,
not just all the business laws, all the artwork, all
Mhm.
all the
the
talent.
all the talent.
Yeah,
You don't get that human resources back.
it's
You
true.
know, you can get a lot of those supplies back, but the human resource is gone. And then you have the survivors coming back. You know,
That's
that's
right.
you're gonna have a whole demoralized thing, and that's gonna affect their work.
It is, and also it's not even only that. How much of the actual original content was lost, right?
Right.
I mean, I'm sure it's in various hands and stuff like that, but they might have lost a bunch of original stuff. I'm sure the
Yeah.
companies that produce the DVDs and stuff like that have copies, so they'll be able to work it out. But Yeah, but like I'm not trying to be crass, but I'm just saying this dude was extremely successful, and it reminds me of that terrorist attack in France against that magazine that had
Hmm.
little art things depicting Muhammad, and they went in there and shot him
Right.
up. They were incredibly successful. And of course, the Western media made it more successful because of their refusal to cover it because, Islam good, Christians bad. That added on top of it. And understand, I'm not trying to make this political. I'm just making connections between the same type of mentality because this is terrorism. This is exactly what it is. And Yeah, but this is a huge hit to Japan because the real thing that everyone is mentioning, it's not about KyoAni. It's not about property damage. It's not about even this crazy guy. It's about the dead because the people that were the people working there were kids. These are young people that are working in there, young talented people. And You got to understand, I've been a teacher here for coming on 18 years here in Japan, and of course, I teach all ages in my school. I have a private school here, of course, junior high, high school kids are getting to an age where they're making a decision of what they want to be in their life, and I ask them that question. It's a good, it's a good conversation to try to have in English, to get them talking. What do you want to do when you graduate, or where do you want to go to college? That kind of stuff, and a lot of them want to be get involved in animation, and they practice all the time. I had one girl last year. Remember, I think she's either first year high school or last year junior high at the time, but she got a light box. Her parents bought her a light box. She was so excited about doing her work. And of course, our community here is connected directly to this because whether it be animator or illustrator, it's the same work. It's the same job, really. And we've seen tons of crossover in the interviews we've done in the many months we've been doing this as well. Many of the artists who do comics also do animation or movie
Hmm.
workups or what have you. It's all connected. But this is another big shock. Is this going to cause some young people who were thinking about becoming animators become afraid and drop that dream? That sounds extreme, but in Japan, that's a definite thing. These are not like Western people, man. You got to understand that Western kids are much more headstrong and independent. Japanese are not. They are not. They're quite fragile in many ways, and they usually don't really become an adult till around 30 something. They're very different than us. I guarantee you, this is going to dissuade some young people from getting involved in animation, and that's a whole nother level of tragedy to this. You know,
Wow, you really think so, huh?
I do. Yes, I
Because
know
it's
that.
so ingrained in the culture over there, the comics and anime and stuff. It's just, it's like, it's like the newspaper used to be here. Where's
Oh, it won't be
everybody?
all of them, but it will be some. I guarantee you. I
Wow.
know the Japanese mind well, dude, and it
Yeah,
most certainly will. Yeah.
It's
here's something. Here's something that
counterintuitive to what we would do here is more people would
Yeah. No, you're
sort of
right.
let.
Yeah. They're different
here,
though.
here's something. Here's something that is definitely going to happen in the next couple of days. Animation houses all over,
Hmm.
specifically in that area, they're going to beef up security, or they're going to get themselves security.
Um.
After events like this happen, whether it's full on terrorist attack a or different flavors of it, uh, everybody looks around and say that could have been us, that could have been our company. Now we have to beef up security, get more police, be more
Okay.
vigilant.
Yeah.
That's terrorism. That's terrorism.
You're you're uh you're thinking like a Westerner. You really are. That's not how the Japanese will respond at all. What they'll do is they'll point fingers and try to find someone to blame. Probably the owner and boss of Kyoto Animation is going to bring some heat to him because we do know there were threats. That's going to be the main thing that happens. Will there be a little extra security or a little more attentiveness from the places? Probably. But the Japanese don't do that. They don't overreact like Westerners do. There already were many laws that this person broke. Why do we need a new law? Japanese don't think like that, dude. They really don't. They're not going to be seeing tons of money being thrown into all kind of security. They won't do this. They will not. They're mainly going to sit and contemplate and talk about why it happened and then point fingers. That's what they'll do. That's how they do. Yeah, there won't be that kind of Western reaction at all, dude. That's a very Western thinking. Yeah, I get what you're saying because if that happened in America, that's exactly what would happen. But that's not here. That's not how they do. You know, it's just the culture. I am going to move away from this, but let me just check the chat real quick. Do the higher ups in Lucasfilm deserve the death penalty for the mass murder of an entire franchise? No. Samuel Lee says, "Oh yeah, he's happy as a pig and shit." I don't know what you mean by that, but they must be
He's,
done for. I'm afraid. Can there be comeback from this? It's good. I think this is gonna hurt him hard, really, really hard, dude. Strength to the people there. May their resolve be steeled. Yeah, I agree. Devilish Boredom says this was supposedly their historic office. They have a separate building for actual animation and archives, I believe. Awesome. I didn't know that. This is actually a new building. It's their main headquarters. It's their working building. But do they have an archive? Probably. I'd assume so. But yeah, you're probably right. John Chedester says, had a Japanese friend in high school, and from my experience, they are also very one-minded. They have one job they will do, so if in high school they choose to go after something, it won't change them back. If it's like a third year or someone, that may be true, but it's case by case. They are very one-minded, but they're also very fragile and fearful people in many ways. I mean, fear dominates everything. I mean, I'm not going to get into a psychological conversation here, but fear dominates everything all humans do all the time. But the Japanese are just I guarantee you that will effect will take place. There will be some loss to the animation world. There will be, but at the same time, for instance, if we go look at K-kun, who is the Japanese tennis player who's done pretty well. I mean, he's not good enough to be a top champion, but he's in top 10 all the time. His existence has made a whole generation, or coming on probably two generations, of kids who are getting into tennis. So it works both ways, right? Whereas in America, no one cares, right? No one cares. Oh yeah, Serena, cool, right? But over here, it matters, and so it goes both ways, in a positive and negative. So anyway, anything else? Have anything else they want to say before I move on to a lighter topic? No.
no, we're good. Yeah.
All right. Well,
We're good. Get away from this.
yeah. Well, no. I very much am going to have to. I was no way I wasn't going to cover this, dude. So let's
Yep.
watch a trailer. That's a horror one. Let's not watch that one. Let's do this one. Oh, just so you know, let me just try to bring it up real quick before we do this. For all you guys watching, we did get a community strike. First one. Yay! Everybody clap.
Yeah.
We made it, boys.
We made it.
We made it.
They recognized us. Now, this is not an actual community strike. There's no effect to the channel whatsoever. As you see, not affected. We have no strikes whatsoever. And this is because we're not monetized. And of course, like I said, I'm not going to monetize it because of these exact reasons. But we did get this claim from the Netflix. Blocked in all territories by the Netflix. I don't see. I know there's some place that you can find out if it was done manually or automatically by algorithm. I don't know where to look for that though. But they showed the exact spot, and it's on Chris Evans. It's this exact
Unless we have
spot.
unless we have a big fan who's part of Netflix, Chester, I'm going to assume automated.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, I'm assuming too. But I mean, it's interesting. They showed us the exact spot that is offensive, and it's Chris Evans.
Which one of you guys knocked on us?
What,
Who
what,
told
what was that
Netflix?
from? What was that picture
It's just
from?
a trailer. It's the stupidest
What trailer?
thing. I mean, it's
What
free
trailer was
advertising,
that?
right? I forget even. It was Chris
Oh.
Evans. We were positive about it. They were like, "Ooh, Chris Evans. He's a good actor." Um, it was some kind of something in Africa, Red Sea diving
Red
resort.
diving.
Yeah,
Yeah. Red diving hotel.
something like that. But it's kind of like Ethiopia, save the peoples type of thing. Chris Evans, of course, he loves that kind of stuff, but he's a pretty good actor, so we weren't negative about it. But it doesn't matter negative or not. I think it's just automatic. You touch our trailer, and it's like you do realize that's free advertising, right? But I don't care. Doesn't mean anything to me. Oh, so that one's gone. I'm not going to dispute it because that automatically shuts the channel down for 30 days. See how they do that? You see how they keep us down? If you go and dispute and say, "Hey, wait a minute, that's a trailer. That's fair use. We were talking through that," which of course is completely legal. There's nothing illegal about what we did. That was fair use 100%. And if I had the money and I went and I threw it at it and went to court, I'd win. I would. But they know I'm not going to go to court. And they also, when you click that button, you have your channel shut down for 30 days for evaluation, and they know you don't want to do that either. So that's how they get you. That's how they control it. This is the insidiousness of YouTube, and this is why so many people are angry and screaming about YouTube all the time. It's because of this kind of nasty behind-the-scenes kind of stuff they do. Because there's no reason they should have claimed that video. That is fair use. No, everywhere in the world that's fair use, right? So YouTube is the man, but I don't really care anyway. Whatever, And let's. So with that said, though, however, let's see if I can get another one. You guys ready? I'm going for another one. I want 2 in a row, man.
Sure.
Are you ready? Here we go.
Mhm.
Uh-oh. Top Gun Maverick. Tom Cruise, the Eternal One.
30 plus years of service.
Ooh.
Combat medals.
Ooh, combat
Citations.
medals. Citations.
Only man to shoot down 3 enemy planes in the last 40 years.
That's really low.
Yet you can't get a promotion. You won't
Very nice
retire.
details. You can see
Despite your
danger.
best efforts, you
Yeah.
refuse to die.
Tom Cruise is doing it again.
Special effect.
He's good at that
Special
stuff.
effects. Love
You
it.
should be at least
I
a
have
two-star
some.
admiral by now. Yet here you are, captain.
He's an asshole. That's
What
because
is
he's
that?
an asshole.
It's one of life's mysteries, sir.
You're way too old to still be flying a plane. I don't think they'll let old people fly planes, dude. I wish we had DeWolf in here. He'd tell us exactly what the rule on it is. Yeah.
Yeah, the moment
Doesn't
your
matter,
eyesight
it's
starts
like,
failing.
He's the best there is, and they're bringing him back because they need him.
Oh, all the old ladies are just wetting themselves right now. Yeah.
Yeah, they're sliding off their seats.
Yes, they are. Choo-choo-choo. All across America, old ladies falling off their couches, Choo-choo, flying out
Yeah.
the
Doing it
doors,
for the Space Force.
skidding down the streets. What'd you say, Todd?
I said they're recruiting him for the Space Force.
Are they? Actually, it looks great, dude. Look at it. It's gorgeous.
That's how the movie ends.
Oh, really?
It's the first.
Yeah, there's some great cinematography at
The
work
end
here.
is inevitable, Maverick. Your kind is headed for extinction.
Maybe so, sir.
Let's talk about age.
But not
Oh my
today.
god, did I just see?
But
what's
not
his name in
today.
this? Radio.
What'd you say?
Is Radio in this? I forget his name. Cuban Gooding Jr.
I don't
Cuba
know.
Gooding
Simon-
Jr.
I don't know. God, we don't want those people. That's disgusting.
Get him
but
out of here.
Get him out of here. But Papa Cruz will outlive us all. That's right, Samly.
It,
Sploosh.
Sploosh. It certainly begs the question as to how much of that was CG and how much of it was practical, because it looked very good.
It looked beautiful.
Right.
And of course, Tom
And-
Cruise is great at that kind of stuff, man.
I did hear some rumors about Tom Cruise wanting to learn how to fly a jet before he shot this film. I don't know how true that is, but
He does that, dude. He does that.
Yeah.
He takes his job very seriously, Tom. I mean, that's why we respect Tom. I mean, we can
he's
goof
a little,
and laugh
he's
at
a
him.
little nutter, but
He is,
he's still
but we
great at what he
respect him,
does.
right? He's good at what he does. He takes it very
Yeah.
seriously. He brings 100% all the time. Whether you like what he brings or not is a whole nother conversation, but you can't fault Tom for his professionalism. He's always been that way.
Right, he's been in bad movies, but they weren't bad because of him.
No.
You know, his performance isn't great in every movie, but it's not bad in any of them. You know,
No.
I think his personal life has actually been hampering his professional life.
Yeah,
And
no, I
think-
agree.
I think, yeah.
He,
I mean,
because he
I
is
love
insane.
Egypt Tomorrow.
That
That's
is a
an
great
insane
movie,
movie.
actually. Very
Yeah,
good movie.
I love it.
Yeah. And his Oblivion, I think it was called. That was kind of fun too. It wasn't
Ooh,
very
yeah.
original,
I
but
thought
I
that-
liked it.
I thought it was quite underrated, that one.
Yeah.
Critics seem to hate that one, but that was a gorgeous movie.
It was. His last
Yeah.
Mission Impossible, good fun movie, solid action flick, solid spy thriller. Tom always delivers. I get the jokes and memes about him, but he is good at what he does. Have you changed the channel settings for to entertainment? I already said yeah, but I'll say it again. I did. I remembered to do that. And we have Eric Hawkins says, "I feel the need." The need for speed. Yes, sir. And man, Ed Harris looks so grizzled and old. Ray Thula says, yeah, he does. But I like Ed Harris, and we love Ed Harris. I do hope that Cruz and Bieber will have that fight. So do I, dude. The Mount Rushmore of cringe. All right, cool. We have a Tom Cruise hater here. All right, fine. I want to fight. I want that fight more than any movie. So we all do, dude. Eric Hawkins says, I think a lot of the cockpit shots were him in a ride, a long position, probably. It is definitely him in the cockpit, but he is in the second chair. Oh, there you go. Eric seems to know about Air Force stuff. Awesome. Ray Thulu says, when you're rich and crazy, you can afford to do that kind of stuff. I bet he's gotten. He's gotten his endorsements to fly that damn plane. I'm sure he has. And of course, we know he's a big motorcycle fanatic. So all that motorcycle stuff, well, not all of it, but a lot of the motorcycle stuff is him doing it. He
Do you
does
think he's aiming to be the next Brie Larson?
well. Brie Larson said she's bigger and better than him already. So
Thank you very much.
very much. Semele says Edge of Tomorrow was very good. Yeah, it was, dude. It was a great movie. It's just too bad they couldn't decide on the damn name of it. Hell, Top Gun 2 makes me wet, Eric says. Well, Eric, have you been lying to us? Do you have some kind of voice modifier? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Oh, my. Anyway,
That's
let's...
the most erotic day of my life.
Oh, goodness. Let me come over here
He's
to...
become a booster boy.
You're right. Oiled. Cool. Awesome. That was a great trailer. That's how you sell that, by the way. Let's go to this one right here, Dinale.
All right. So, from Hollywood Reporter, Ed Brubaker inks overall deal with Legendary TV. So, a lot of the series and TV shows that Legendary is going to be putting out, he's going to be overseeing and consulting over it.
I only
Plus
just
doing-
discovered Ed Brubaker. Why are you doing this?
Well, this isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
I want to
And
be
for
running
the-
more Daredevil.
Well, I mean, his
he
writing
did a good
skills-
run.
He did do a good run.
That's a very good
yeah.
run. I'm loving it.
But this is why Legendary picked him up, right?
Yeah.
So I think this is fine. I'd love to see what he's going to do with it. For me, his writing style is going to be a little bit more serious, whereas we talked a little bit about James Gunn the other day, and where he's going to be having a bigger and bigger hand in the DC Universe type of stuff, which I think is a good thing. And of course, we know, shoot, he started over at Trauma, James Gunn. Right, that dude has been involved, and he's got his whimsical horror way, and his style is well developed. So here, Brubaker is going to bring something more serious, but yeah, cool, man.
Right.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know who Ed Brubaker, some of his work is Batman, The Man Who Laughs, the Captain America, Winter Soldier arc.
Yep.
Just to throw those out there. The Uncanny X-Men, Criminals, Daredevil, as Booster said, the Immortal Iron Fist.
Yep.
And some other...
Velvet.
And Velvet, yeah. And the Fade Out and Kill or Be Killed as well.
Yeah. No, he's a pretty good
Just to
writer.
name some of his
He's
work.
not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not bad. I don't know how woke he is, but I guess that's not the conversation for today. But from my point of view, it's like, cool, awesome. Let's see what he does. Let's see here. Nick says, nah, I was talking about our congressman woman, the 4 horse faces of the apocalypse. Oh, I get it. Okay. Yeah, no, those idiots. God, Trump is so freaking brilliant. And because a lot of Republicans are like, oh, you shouldn't have said that, Mr. Trump. And he just sat back, and it turned out exactly what he wanted to be.
I just reread that the 4 horse faces of the apocalypse. That's brilliant.
It is. Eric says, speaking of Brie Larson, did we see her in the trailer? Huh?
No, we didn't see her in the
No.
Top Gun. I was making a joke.
Oh my God! Don't say things like that.
Whoosh. I found some Birds of Prey news, Chester, but one of the words that's bothering me is the word rumor. Do you still want to run this article?
Yeah, sure. We're all
All right.
everything we do is speculation anyway. I mean, we are
Mhm.
usually right though. Tote tote, ding ding.
Well, a lot of the other stuff that came beforehand were rumors anyway that turned out to be true. So the stuff surrounding Birds of Prey is very odd. Here we go.
All right, I'm white boxing you, so go ahead, man. Lay it out.
Margaret Robbie, Birds of Prey has pedophilia elements. Rumors have landed online that the upcoming Margaret Robbie Birds of Prey film, which are pretty disgusting and have elements of pedophilia. While not specifically featuring pedophilia that we know of, the rumors claim that the young girl in the movie swallows dick pics of the film's villain. So we've already discussed that something to do with the film is that the character, Black Mask, who is a gay man, has a diamond that somehow has his dick pics in them.
And they have a little girl is the one that swallows the diamond to keep it safe. Boy, talk about reaching. That is reaching.
14-year-old Cassandra Cain swallows dick pics.
Yeah, come on. Come on now. That's reaching. She's not.
Come on,
Come on
come
now.
on, come on now.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't resist. But no, seriously, that is reaching now.
It
Yeah,
is a
so
little.
what? I mean, the reason she's swallowing the diamond, I'm sure, is in content, right? Context.
Context.
Sorry.
Yes.
But yeah, so
Teaching the Japanese English people.
sorry. But that's really reaching. I don't think that.
It
I
is.
think that's rather
I don't
ridiculous.
think this counts as pedophilia, guys.
No, it doesn't. It
It's a
doesn't.
little
Yeah,
silly.
yeah. But here's the thing,
It's
though.
dumb, I'll give you that.
It might well be, but this is coming out from Cosmic News, and Comic News, and these guys are a little bit more left leaning, aren't they?
I thought we were going to say right-leaning, but they're certainly not a lefty publisher, or SJW publisher. That's what you're
No,
asking.
no, they're not. But they don't. You don't usually see them championing type of things like that because the left is, of course, constantly eating themselves. But you do have one group of the left who thinks that pedophilia is just fine, and we need to protect them. And then you have another group that's like, no, that's disgusting. Inside the left itself. So I'm just kind of wondering exactly what are the politics behind this because that's political. I mean, come on, that's super reaching to try to say that has any kind of pedophilic connection whatsoever. I mean, come on, dude. Goodness gracious.
This is
Uh,
the thing is, it seems like they've learned nothing from Suicide Squad, right? With
oh,
Suicide Squad, it had an absolute crisis of identity. The thing that being, it didn't know what kind of movie it wanted to be. It didn't know what kind of genre or tone it wanted to take. It was all over the bloody place, and it feels like they're doing the same thing with this, right? Wanting to tackle these very serious issues with a silly tone.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
pick a tone, pick a genre. Gotham
Yep.
made the same mistake. Suicide Squad made the
Booster,
same mistake.
Booster. They're what they're trying to do is make it easier for the audience to swallow it.
Though it's it is interesting though. A extremely flamboyantly gay villain can be extremely effective though. Actually.
Mhm.
I think one movie it just pops right in my head. I can't even remember the name of it, but it has who was the in the Lost Boys? You had the Frog Brothers. You had that famous actor that was that was one of the Frog Brothers. What's his name? Corey Feldman or something like that.
Corey Haim, I believe.
Well, the ugly one, not the pretty one that's dead. But he plays a vampire.
Yeah.
A female vampire, a transgender vampire, in a vampire movie, and boy is he creepy as hell. It's a good job actually from him, good acting bit. But I don't know remember the name of the movie, but a flamboyantly gay character can be a great creepy villain actually. So we'll see. But this is super reaching, and I don't
Yeah.
know about you guys, but I could care less about the Birds of Prey. Don't really care.
Hey, hold on. DC has had a flamboyant evil character for 50 years now.
Who?
Oh,
The
Oh,
Joker.
the Joker.
yeah, of course. I thought you were going to see. I thought you were talking about the Justice League movie where we had Lady Luthor.
Oh wow. Yeah, but no, the Joker. I get that the comments. I mean, I don't think he was intentionally written to be one way or the other. But if the Joker were a flamboyantly gay villain, it wouldn't be weird. I wouldn't care.
No. Okay. Let's define the word gay.
Well,
Homosexual.
no,
No,
homosexual. Yeah,
happy.
yeah,
Happy.
yeah.
Gay.
Okay,
The word
okay.
gay is happy.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, here's the thing though that kind of nixes the whole joke you're trying to make, George. The Joker, although he laughs incessantly, is not happy at all. There's nothing happy about the Joker. He is the antithesis of happiness, right? Anyway, let's move on. I think this is cool news, though. This news right here. Go ahead, Dinale. This is not actually new news, but go ahead.
Right, so IDW is doing a lot of prompt and pageantry as they're introducing the yellow-clad female Ninja Turtle, Genka, in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comic book series. But the new mutation beat you by, I don't know, a decade plus more.
Yeah, that's
So-
right. It was a long time ago. They had the live action. I think it was a live action TV show, right?
Right, the new
Yeah,
mutation.
they had a female in there. Yeah, who cares? No one cares. It doesn't matter. Adding a female ninja turtle isn't necessarily a problem. Of course, 1 for 4 boys. She's a busy girl. Okay,
Yeah.
I can't believe Booster's going to let me get away with that. But all right, fine, fine.
No, that was well executed. I give that 10 out of 10.
I get a 10 out of 10 on that one. All right, thank you. Is Todd still with us? He's being so quiet. I don't even hear him breathing.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Oh, that's why you were muted. Okay, all right. You don't have any opinions on any of this stuff, dude?
More of an opinion on your comment.
No,
I don't have
Hey,
To be honest, her design's pretty sweet. Like,
I think so.
I'm all
Looks
up on
good.
the
Her name is atrocious.
Jenica?
Jenica.
Yeah.
Stupid. Like, isn't there a painter? Isn't there a Renaissance female painter? You know, there probably wasn't because women didn't get.
No,
to
because
do
they were all oppressed.
And they should have called her Mona.
Yeah, the Mona. Yeah, that would have been good.
Oh, the
No.
Mona. Oh.
Women were not allowed to enter the artist theaters. They weren't allowed. Yeah. So
who
they
was
wouldn't
the
have been.
first? Maybe there was a pioneer. There had to be a pioneer, right?
I imagine so. It's probably not until the 18th century, maybe. I'm not a absolute master of art history, dude, but I'm feeling probably 18th century.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I find the idea of adding a turtle into the mix at this time very odd. You remember that episode of The Simpsons? It was to do with the Itchy and Scratchy show, right? And they try to add the character Poochie in, and everybody hates it because it just messes up with the dynamic of it all.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, this is how I feel about it because the 4 turtles are perfect dynamic. You throw in a new character now, it messes with the whole paradigm.
Well, it's jumping the shark, right? They're just trying
Yes.
to pump sales and stuff like that. But yeah, this, like I said, this isn't new. They did this a decade ago on a TV show, and no one liked it then. So it's like, yay, IDW is not paying attention again. Good on ya. But of course, we know these guys are in desperate financial situation. Desperate.
For real though, that design is sweet as hell.
It is. It looks
It's
great.
really cool.
It looks really
You
good.
know what's crazy about it is that she's the master of many weapons, so she's not only one weapon like the other Ninja Turtles. She has all of their weapons.
Oh, it's
Plus
always
That's the
that
other
way.
thing that sucks. She has like a claw, a sword, and a bow. It's like you pick one. All the other turtles get one. You should have one as well.
Yeah.
Right. Should gave her spatula.
Oh, this is unbelievably ugly chest. If you keep scrolling down, that's how she's supposed to look as a woman. Top left there.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
She's a female
She's a-
ninja.
Yeah, I get her.
And then-
Here's her
But she
human
wasn't
face.
born Wait, she
Looks like a
wasn't a
dude.
turtle and turned into a mutated turtle?
Yes, because
It
of a
seems so.
blood transfusion. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, whoever's doing this art really missed their perspective because this
Oh yeah,
character is way too big. That
she
is a
looks enormous here.
giant. Yes. Yell at him, Todd. Give him hell, Todd.
Uh,
Well, come on. You know that's way off, dude. You,
That's his
yeah.
war cry.
And
Yeah,
she's
he's angry.
no,
Furious.
listen. There's a
Oh.
little bit of home of this to me, right? Because this began here in Northampton, Massachusetts.
Fusion.
So you realize that you can't get more blood out of such a small stone than they already have of the turtles.
Yeah.
It's made more money than any small little thing ever. You know, think of something that started real small
Hmm.
and then grew so big.
The Tick.
You know, it's like freaking McDonald's. Yeah, the Tick is another one. That was also
Yeah.
Massachusetts, by the way.
I stand in opposition to the smell of villains. Spoon! Yes, the Tick is awesome. I love the Tick. But you know, another little trope that I'm seeing right here that I don't know if you guys have mentioned, but you notice they gave her a bow. And a lot of times, in games and comics, especially with elves, they always have the girl has the bow. They always give her the bow. They always give her the bow. The funny thing about that is, to be realistic for a moment, the last weapon you would give a woman is a bow, because the traditional bow is way too heavy for a woman to use. This is not a traditional female weapon at all, especially when you're talking about when you get into like the English European bows, because that's a lot of where you see it is European stuff. And because those European bows, I mean, some of those things had like 80-pound draws on them, dude. And there's no way a woman's pulling it. There's no way, even with all the techniques they had to draw them, a woman's not pulling it. But yet, it with the standard trope is just give the girl the bow, just give her the bow, right? Because they don't want to have to deal with her in the physical sword to sword combat. But in reality, a very highly trained a female sword user, of course, going to fight very differently than a male, but she's going to be way more effective than she ever would with a bow. I don't know if that means anything to anybody, but there it is.
Short bows.
You
Doesn't
know what's
matter,
perfect
Dinale.
about the turtles?
Yeah.
You can describe their personalities with a single word.
Yep.
Leader, smart one, funny one, tough one.
Mhm.
Just like that. It just feels wrong to mess with the paradigm. You know what
Oh,
I'm saying?
she's going to be the ballsy one.
She's gonna be the girl.
No, she'll be the ballsy one. Of course, in
Alright.
this modern day, she's not going to be
I think
nothing
she'll
female about her.
emasculate the rest. Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't the Yeah, you're right. We mentioned that already, but Frida. How about Venus de Milo? Hey, good point. Women were only allowed to paint houses back then. Lol. Let's see. Wasn't there one chick that learned to paint and then had her husband take credit for the art so they could sell it? Probably. Uh, or was that a fictional character for a book I read? It might have been. But that did happen. Interesting thing here in Japan, before the Warring States period, back, so we're going back to kind of Middle Ages, the medieval times, about 800 years ago or so. They actually had quite a bit of, it was quite normal to have female writers and female creatives and stuff like that. It wasn't strange at all. There's some very famous books that are still read in Japan from that period. But when the Warring States periods came in, especially when Tokugawa took over and created the Edo Jidai, it went away. There was no more females allowed to write. It changed radically. It's really unfortunate. Where in the West we saw this, it kind of double shift. If you go back before the Roman or more the Christian Catholic influence in Europe, of course, all the Celtic peoples, women were allowed to be their best self, just like any man was. There was no real segregation of by gender. But of course, it's that Middle Eastern religion, that the Semitic religions like Christianity, that brought that kind of women need to stay in their place type of thinking. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. But let's see here. So she is an archer or a Wolverine turtle. Yeah, she could be both. Eric says, because girls like to play with shafts, arrow shafts, you dirty-minded fools.
Oh.
All right.
Oh.
Thanks,
Ooh.
Eric.
Oh no.
Oh no. Uh, Back quiver too. No ninja would have such a clunky quiver. Probably not. Of course, ninja really weren't much of a bow user anyway. Um, Evening, folks. 80-pound draw weight for a bow is actually quite light. They could be, but a lot of those long bows. It's kind of interesting. I remember reading an article from some historian because I get a bunch of the quarterlies from Brown University as well as Cambridge and stuff like that. It's just part of your anthropology world, and I read them. And I remember an article many years ago, but they had found a whole bunch of U shafts at the bottom of a lake or something like that in a sunk ship. These were, of course, in cold water, so they were in perfect condition. They took them out, they dried them out, they tested, experimented. When these are longbow shafts, U shafts from the 100-year war period, they were looking at 80+ pound draws on those things, and it's just I did archery for a long time since I was a kid. I still have a compound bow, and my compound bow is sitting about 80 pounds. Of course, with a compound bow, that when I pull the 80, it drops down to 40. So I'm only holding 40 pounds. But even that, I mean, I've been doing it for a long time, so I know how. But a lot of my friends couldn't even draw the damn thing, and that's men. Japanese men trying
Oh,
to draw an 80-pound bow, right? But so if you go back to a longbow, which has no release whatsoever, you're pulling and holding 80 to 100-pound weight. No way, dude.
Chester,
Yeah.
I have breaking news.
Uh-huh.
I found a trailer we need to watch.
Oh.
I just put it in the fanspeak chat. I think you need to see it. I think we need to. I think we need to see it. I think it's an emergency. I'm declaring national emergency on this trailer that we need to watch.
Fine. All right.
Fine.
Oh my god.
Look what I found! Look what I found!
Cats.
What is this?
Oh wow.
It's a very famous Broadway show. You do realize that, right?
Yes, I know. Oh.
Actually, the costumes are great.
You give me that CGI on the face is disgusting. This is nightmare fuel.
It is, but the costumes are really good, dude.
Oh god.
Yeah, but there's a blend going on here that's a little off.
It is, yeah. I see where he's getting the creepy factor from it, but it is impressive costuming. I've never seen Cats on Broadway, but of course it's been running forever. This is CG added, probably. This is like a CG layer, maybe.
It looks worse than Sonic the Hedgehog.
It's Penguin.
Yep.
Oh.
You do. Oh, Idris Elba. Jennifer Hudson. Oh, Jennifer Hudson, dude, she can sing like crazy though. I'm gonna have. My wife is gonna make me watch it. Taylor Swift. Oh, drop kick her, please.
Rebel Wilson.
Rebel Wilson, like we need that. My wife is gonna.
Wow.
Touch me. She wants you to touch her.
What the?
Wow. I'll actually probably be safe from this one because my wife can't stand musicals, so I'm probably good.
It looks so ugly.
I'm actually surprised we didn't get something like this sooner.
Are you going to try for a different life?
Because Cats has been famous for more than 20 years, like 30 years maybe.
This is the cherry on top of 2019.
I suppose so. Cats, baby.
I mean, Jesus, they could have went the whole Micro Miners, Cat in the Hat way and been a little bit more
That's right.
Sure, right?
It's not charming at all. It loses something.
Okay.
Have any of you ever heard of it until this trailer?
I've heard of
Yes.
Cats,
Yes.
of course. I don't know that. I didn't know they were making a movie.
About this production.
No.
There you go.
Yeah.
And usually a production of this quality and this putting this much money into it, their marketing department should have been slowly building you up to this point. They haven't.
Look at all the names they were using. Directed by this guy. Award-winning.
It's funny.
Oscar
No, no.
Award nominated this and that. Taylor
Samali
Swift.
Olkey wins the day. This is a comment for you in response to this trailer you made us watch, Booster, and he says, "Goddamn oil freak."
I probably deserve it. But
Beautiful, dude.
I wanted to share this with my friends and family, my viewers. I wanted to hurt all of you.
Curse you, Booster! It just crashes after this.
Booster really creased the system here.
Oh, furries are gonna love that, Joshua. You're right. Eric Hawkins says, that was Judy Dench. I think it was.
Yes, it
But
was.
yeah, Ray Thula says, "Where is Hugh Jackman? He needs a high kick his happy butt right into this." Yeah, right. That's perfectly up his alley. He's actually a pretty good singer, actually. What the f is this, Booster?
You know what would have been better if Ezra Miller was part of it.
That
Oh
would
no,
just
it'd be perfect. It'd be perfect. John Tedderson
This
says,
guy did the King's Speech, Les Miserables, and
"Les
other.
Miserables."
And
I
David
wouldn't.
Schultz, this guy just does Oscar bait.
Yeah, cool. It's got to make money, dude. That is a very popular Broadway hit. I wouldn't mind if it was a skin suit, but it looked like an entire skin is CGI. I think so. Let's ask Todd. Todd knows about that kind of stuff. Todd, what do you think about the? Is that a suit or is it CGI or is it CGI touched or what are you thinking?
I think it's a blend to smooth out, make it seem like one seamless suit and give it a little sort of movement to the fur,
Mm,
because you wouldn't get movement to the fur, like no matter how furry, like even if you watch a fur coat or whatever, the fur doesn't move. It's too
yeah,
rigid. It has too much weight.
yeah,
So there's something there to give that extra, like you said, an extra layer of CGI that is
yeah. But
helping
can you
create a weight.
imagine the level of work to get every single solitary cat on screen?
Oh my
That's a
gosh.
lot of
Well,
work, dude.
Oh, this comment.
well,
Oh,
they,
great. My sleep paralysis demons have begun acting careers.
Oh no.
well,
It looks like a lot of green screen too, as
yeah.
far as
It
set design
does.
and
It does. Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
Chester,
yeah.
they're probably using algorithms and programs to
To assist.
specifically.
yeah, to assist all that. So a lot
I
of
guess I don't really know. Yeah.
yeah,
Dear Lord, what was that? I'm sorry, Roger. I do apologize for Booster.
yeah.
But you guys are forewarned. You know who he is. You know how he is. Ray Thula said, directed by
Y'all know what I'm about.
yeah, directed by Tom Hooper. Too bad it wasn't Toby Hooper. That would have been worth watching, right? And somebody says, of all the nights I decided to stay up for this show, I had to pick this one. Oh my. Yeah, they did not like that.
Oh, Chester, you gotta read Eric's
Yeah.
last comment.
That was the most pussy Booster has seen in a long time.
Shows
Uh-oh.
what you know. I watch a lot of porn.
Oh, God. Well, I have to say, Booster, you know this crowd because you hit that exactly. Because I actually wasn't hating on it. Uh-oh. Here we
Uh-oh.
go. Uh-oh.
I loves the look of it.
I am a musician, dude. I do apologize.
Mhm.
And that movie has musical has some really great music, actually. I think I prefer the Phantom of the Opera, but nevertheless, since we're going for copyright strikes, let's see if we can get 3. You ready?
Oh, let's do it.
I'm ready. Here we
Another
go.
one.
Here's
Go.
another one.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Something
it.
happens to you when you leave this town. The farther away, the hazier it all gets. But me,
Ah man, I hate when they
I never
show
left.
the ending
I
scene of a
remember all
movie.
it.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. No. It was all right. The remake is all right. The first one wasn't great though. It was just Tim Curry, really.
The legendary Tim Curry.
Oh, and the legendary Tim Curry. Yeah,
To the losers.
yeah. They're all older now.
Oh, hooray. I'm happy for them.
If it isn't dead,
Ooh, you are a lot
James
older than the
McAvoy.
rest
if it
of
never
them.
comes back,
Right, yeah.
we'll come back to it.
That's not a bad choice.
Pennywise.
The cloud.
chubby kid got really sexy. What's happening there?
But that's kind of the
We
joke,
can't let
right?
it happen again.
Mhm.
I don't know, dude. You got Professor X on your side. This Pennywise is done, dude.
Mm-hmm. Pretty OP.
Hello. Please. For 27 years, I dreamt of you. I craved you.
Oh,
Where's Indiana Jones
I
hidden?
missed you.
I missed you.
We need to finish it. For good.
They love those big horns, yeah.
It consumes us from the inside until we don't have a choice anymore.
You lied. And I died. You lied. And I died.
I wonder if we're gonna get the turtle.
I'm pretty sure you'll get the turtle.
I don't know. There might be a chapter 3.
Honk honk.
Well, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, like I said, the original TV show, I saw the miniseries when it came out. It was one of the
Mhm.
few that my parents actually let me watch. I guess I might have been at the right age, but Tim Curry killed it. The rest of it was eh. It wasn't great. So this reboot is better simply because it is better. Although I didn't really. The only thing I really liked about the first one was the garage scene. I thought that was well done. But overall, I was so it just didn't really catch me. But I get why people like it. I guess.
hmm
Any opinions?
Apparently, they want to use the most on-screen blood in any live-action movie to date, from what I've heard. So, that makes me curious.
Well,
How much blood they want to splatter everywhere.
that is going to be hard to accomplish though, because
Mm-hmm.
there are films that literally have an oceans of blood.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. We'll see what they do, what they mean by that. Risey Lee is here, dude. Hello, Risey,
Mhm.
man. Nice to see you. Been a while. Zach says, "Too bad Stephen King is a hypocritical turd who thinks no one should own a firearm while cashing royalty checks on a book series about a gunslinger. F that guy. We'll do a lot of them do that. I mean, it's kind of like that comment we got out of old Miller there when he was talking about his Terminator, right? And of course, he made Deadpool, which is all about dudes with guns. But he said that I'd much rather watch a movie with women than a bunch of men with guns. He said. But the ironic thing is, this is a bunch of women in a movie who are loaded with guns. So what are you talking about, you jagoff? But
Mm.
yeah, no, Stephen King, he's just like the rest of them. They're all a bunch of hypocritical, virtue signaling asses. That's what they are. But and of course, you can add another level of Stephen King. He's an absolute pervert, and he has quite a bit of pedophilic tendencies himself, doesn't he? If you read his books, anyway. But
Actually, that's one that has one of the more controversial scenes
Yeah, and
as
they didn't put,
well.
and they of
Big,
course they didn't put it in the first miniseries. They're not going to put it. They didn't put it in the first movie, because if you guys don't know what we're talking about, it's not the first time, but in this movie, in the book, it directly, they found that the way that what Pennywise is hunting is virgins. That's why he goes after kids. He needs a virgin to chew on. He can't. A person who's not a virgin is no good for him. So they decide to protect themselves by all those boys having sex with a girl. That's in the book, right?
Ugh.
Now, of course, they didn't put that in the movie because there's no way they're going to get away with that in the movie. But that is just one of many things. King, he has these kind of tendencies. But then again, it's a horror writer. I guess you have to have a certain type of mentality to do that anyway. Anyway, we do have other things. I think a couple other things we could have talked about, but we're definitely at the end of our time. And because I took some time in the beginning talking about KyoAni, but that's okay. That was worth it. But yeah, no. Some really interesting stories, some great trailers. I'm sure we'll get another copyright strike eventually. Well, cross your fingers. I want a trifecta. I want 3. I'm going to get 3. See if I can get 3. That would be really good. But you guys got any closing comments? Because I do need in an hour, less than an hour actually, 51 minutes. We will be having the fan edition drone recorder, which we have Niobe on the show today, so that's going to be awesome. But
I thought, is it Naomi today?
Yeah.
I thought it was somebody else.
No,
Yeah,
it's
I today.
Niobe. Yep.
Oh,
yeah. So anybody have any
Awesome.
comments or anything you want to make before we get out of here?
Yes, I do. If you guys out there who like my artwork, go to the campaign for Graveyard Shift 2. Make sure you get a bundle that has the supplemental book, because that's where my work is with I think 3 other artists.
Mhm.
So in that book alone, there's 60 pages, and obviously none of the tiers come just with that. It comes with Graveyard Shift, so you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. I took a look at the pricing, and it's not bad. I think he did okay as far as how he priced things out. So if you guys are interested in my work or want to see 20 pages that I did, make sure you back that project. Graveyard
Sweet.
Shift 2. Yep.
Rock on, dude. Anybody else?
I am very excited for cats.
We know you are, dude. We know you are.
Mm.
It was kind of creepy looking, but that's going to make a lot of money. I guarantee it. It's probably going to win a bunch of CG awards as well. You watch. Hollywood's just going to absolutely drool over that movie. But anyway, all right then. Well, thank you guys very much. It's always awesome having you in here. There's a bunch of you in here today. We appreciate it. We love you guys coming in here and joining us and giving us your opinion. It's a lot of fun. And very happy to see Samali here. And of course, Risey, I haven't seen in a while as well. But Samali lives in Scandinavia, and he doesn't. It isn't easy for him to come in and be live with us. Although he's very active on our FanSpeak page, which we really appreciate. So really happy to see you here today, Samali, dude. It's awesome. But we are at the end of our show, so go ahead. And I did not say that, Nick. You're putting words in my mouth. How dare you?
Well, thank you everybody for joining us for Comics News today. Hopefully, it'll still be on for other people who missed the stream to watch it. If not, we can give a recount of copyright. Follow my Immortal Mass project by going to the email link before and say, hey, I want to be on your newsletter, and I will put you on the newsletter. So any updates or any news for the Immortal Mass, I will be sending out to those people who sign up. In less than 45 minutes is the Drawn and Quarter fan edition with Naomi, and then we come back on Saturday with FanSpeak.
That's right. Tomorrow's off. Tomorrow's off.
Yeah.
And I will go and I'll take that video. I'll cut the Chris Evans trailer out of it and I'll re-upload it. So
awesome.
Yeah.
But as always, your perception shapes your reality, so always make it a good one.
Namaste.
Namaste, dude. All right, guys. Later.
Later.
Aloha.